information, where insight meets action, and people learn to move forward with purpose. With
Woo.
purpose, Miss Jackie. It was a
Yes.
what's a word? With purpose.
Mm.
How are you, Miss Jackie?
Doing good. I can't believe we're in the last day of January
Oh my
2026. Wow.
God! Really? People,
Yeah.
January for us, Miss Jackie and I have a what we call this importance of January for us because our AI 101 born, our Tech 101 built, are being built.
Yeah. I love it.
Yes. So, wow, we are making one more. Imagine our fifth podcast with Miss Jackie. Can you tell us about it, Miss Jackie?
Yeah, so I really love mysteries, mystery stories. When I was a kid, I used to read Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys, and I love doing that in the summer, especially because I have more time to read in the summer. And now Hallmark has all these different. They have a mystery channel. I won't say what it is for copyright
Mm-hmm.
reasons, but they have a mystery channel now, and so they are this whole weekend they're running these mystery movies, and they have series of mystery movies that they have. So I thought, well, it'd be great to know, do our own stories and just kind of
Yes.
give clues along the way and really help invite storytelling and with mysteries. And so, and then in the second episode, what I was thinking is we could reveal what the who done it is, right? So carry people along every week and give them a new mystery that they can solve.
Yes. Mystery, tune in for that, people, because Miss Jackie and I will give you the mystery.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes. So get
Is
out your
mhm.
your clue book, right? And yeah.
Yes. Is it a spooky mystery? Is it about love mystery or something else? So tune in for
Ooh.
that. And we want to, yes, not we want. Miss Jackie and I will give us our applause for us because we are having a fifth podcast. Yay! This fifth podcast is the main idea is come from Miss Jackie. So thank you so much. Thank
Sure.
you, Miss Jackie. And we are creating more and more and more for sure. We're not stopping, people. We are producing more. So, Miss Jackie, what will be our topic for today on Coaching 101?
Today we've got powerful questions that create breakthroughs.
Mm, powerful questions that create breakthrough.
Yes.
Interesting. So, what is the fundamental difference between a question and merely gathers information and one that potential create breakthrough in someone's thinking situation?
I think it all depends on the type of question that you ask, how you ask it, and how deep you go, right? So it's all about that layering approach. So it's not just about asking once and then that's it, but I think it's all about that layering and kind of, as they say, that peeling back of the onion, right, to get to the heart of it. So yeah, I think those are the key ingredients to it.
The question, just like how can we go beyond our planet?
Hmm.
Right?
Right.
How can go beyond our solar system? And of course, the next will be how can we go beyond our galaxy? Those are the
Mm.
fundamental questions that, well, tune in for our AI 101.
Yes.
And of course, Tech 101 too. We will solve those problems or questions that are rising in your mind. I think our podcast is correlated, right, Miss Jackie?
I
Coaching,
think
asking question, and question go to AI, and then what? Tech 101, right?
right. I think so. I
Yes.
think they're all interrelated. Yeah, I like that.
Mm,
That's great.
yes. So, can you walk us through one of your favorite powerful questions, which I did already fine, breaking down why it works, Miss
Right.
Jackie?
Yeah. So I think one thing that really works as a powerful question is when when someone says something is you you ask them, so what do you think about that, or what makes you think that that is important to you, or something like that. So um yeah, so asking those open-ended questions I think really helps. But that's one of the things I like to, or tell me more about that, right? Something like that. So that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that, because then it gets you to invite more into that. So those are kind of those powerful questions that you can ask. Tell me more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To involve with it, right? To
Mm-hmm.
involve with your
Right.
client, to
Right.
give trust and give you more details of what you want to know, so that you can direct your client
Right.
as a coach.
Exactly. You get a fuller picture of who they are, what their motives are, right? Their motivations even. And so it's kind of a version of storytelling, right? Because you're asking
Mm-hmm.
them to tell their story, and then you take that and you work with that. So, yeah, I like that.
Mm. Yeah, certainly. So, what the specific phrasing of questions using what or how instead of why, or employing future focused language actively shape the quality of the answer it evokes?
Mm. Yeah, I think that's important. The what and the how. I also like that part too with the future focused, right? So you don't
Mm,
try to say what happened here, but what happens when you do this, right? Instead of what happened, say what happens, right? And making
mm-hmm,
it more future focused. I like that. And that's something that we do in curriculum design. We try to make sure that we're writing present tense. We're not writing past tense as if the student is has already done it, or we're going in the past. We're making it centered on right here, right now. And so I think that's important even in coaching too, to make sure we're centering on right here, right now, and the future for them, because that's what we need to do as coaches. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly. People, the specific phrasings of a questions actively shapes the quality of the answer, because the questions do not merely seek information. They direct attention, emotion, and cognition. When we ask why, questions, especially in emotionally changed contexts, and the mind often moves into dense justification or blame, producing answers that protect identity rather than understanding. What a
Mm.
nice concept. So we often focus on the question itself, Miss Jackie, but what is the critical role of the listening that follows it? How does holding space for silence or discomfort allow a breakthrough to emerge?
Oh, that's good. I think what that allows you to do is avoid having the answer right away, and you allow yourself to have more of that deep unveiling of what the client really needs and what they want. So I think that helps you to be a better coach, because then you're not cutting them off at the pass, right? You're actually inviting more of that information to be revealed and uncovered, because not everybody is going to reveal that information in the first session. It may take a few sessions for the coach to really get that information that they need to be able to help their client the best they can. And so I think that's all part of it too, is being patient with it and not wanting to just fix everything in that first session, because that may not happen and probably won't. So that's important too. Yeah.
Truly important, people. Listening is the unseen half of any meaningful question, because the quality of what follows often determines whether insight is allowed to surface or quietly shut down. When we truly listen without interrupting, correcting, or rushing to fill the silence, we signal safety, and safety is what allows deeper truth to emerge. Yes, true, right? You need to
Mm.
listen first and answer the question. So, Miss Jackie, powerful question often work by disrupting our habitual thought patterns. How do they help someone step outside their well-worn story or mental model to see the situation anew?
Mm. I think it helps when you can ask the type of questions that help to reframe maybe the perspective that the clients had with the situation or something they've experienced. Because so many times, if they faced a traumatic experience, right, or situation,
Mhm.
they can have this mindset of how they can go about in the future of tackling something if something else happens that may be similar, or they may just be basing it on fear, right, of the what if. And so I think it really helps when you can help them move past that. And so yeah, asking those questions I think really help you to get past that and help them move forward in that process. So being able to ask those I think is really important. So sometimes it's even hard, like if they give you an emotional answer, how do you follow up with that? That can be hard,
How
and
would you
so
follow up?
yeah, so I think it takes practice. I don't think it's something that coaches master right away. I think it's something that it happens over time, that they learn from each client. Just like with me, I've been doing my work for 20 years, but I'm not perfect at it. And so I think as a coach you need to have grace with yourself, have grace with your clients, and know that you're going to get better with each client you work with. So that's
Mhm.
the key there too. Yep.
Yes, definitely. People, powerful question disrupt habitual thought patterns by interrupting the automatic narratives we use to make sense of our experience. I think our story is often mental shortcut, useful
Mhm.
but limiting, built from assumption or past experiences and emotional conclusion that feel true because they are familiar for sure. So, Miss Jackie, we can often feel a change in the room when a powerful question lands. How would you describe a visceral or emotional shift that occurs in the person being questioned?
Oh wow. I think some of the things that can happen is you'll start to see a change in their body cues, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
even their voice, the tone of their voice. Um Especially if it's moving towards something that may be negative for them to maybe something more optimistic or more positive. I think you'll see that change in their body language and their tone of their voice, and maybe even just how they answer questions down the road too. So I think once you unlock that and you get them to move more towards the positive from the negative, I think that makes a huge difference. So you'll be able to tell, you'll be able to see those cues, I think, in many ways.
Definitely. People, when powerful question truly lands, the shift is often felt before is articulated, as what Miss Jackie talking about. There's a brief stillness, sometimes a visible pause, or a breathe or softening of posture. Or the person move from automatic response in internal listening. And Miss Jackie, in coaching or relationship, when we asking a profound question or more impactful than giving a direct advice, even when you know the answer. When
Wow.
question are when question are the answer.
Oh, wow. I think that's important too, because you want to make sure that you're getting to the heart of what that is. So even though you may know the answer, I think it's still important to ask it, because we can't assume, right, that we know what the answer
Mm-hmm.
will be. Yeah, I think that's the danger sometimes in a coaching relationship, or just relationships in general, is that we can sometimes assume that we think we know the answer, and I think that can get us in trouble if we assume. So
The
I think,
truthful, yeah.
yeah. So I think even though we may think we know what the answer is, and we skip over asking that because we think, oh, we know what they're going to say, and let's just get to the next question. I think that yeah, I don't think that that can cause more harm sometimes, maybe down the road. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not uncovering what truly you need to uncover and get to the heart of. So I think it's important to ask them anyways.
Certainly. Ask people ask because in coaching or leadership, asking a profound question is more impactful than giving a direct advice when the goal is ownership, growth, and lasting change, not just a correct outcome. Advice transfer knowledge, but we timed question develops judgment by engaging other person's thinking, values, and self awareness. So, Miss Jackie, let's talk about the crafting and deploying questions. Before
Yes.
you can ask a transformative question, you need to understand the landscape. What are you listening for in a client's or colleague's narrative that signals where to aim your question?
Oh, yeah, that's good. I think you're looking for, if you're in person, right? Or even if you're virtually, I think you can still look for those body language cues. I think you can listen for tone. And I think that'll help you kind of see where you need to go, what direction you need to take with your questions. And that can help you do that. Because I think even I've heard with new coaches or those that are in training, right? And they're going to school to learn how to do this, that sometimes what they'll want to do is have a script in front of them because they're not comfortable with that, and that can be easy to do, right? Scripting is easy to do, but I think sometimes it's good to just have the know what kind of questions to ask. That takes time, but then not rely on a script, because I think that can box you in as a coach, and I think that ends up boxing the client in as well. So make sure you just
Mhm.
have that in mind, that you don't want to rely on a script too much with that. But yeah, but yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
definitely. Not too much in the script, people. Be real, be authentic, asking transformative question, and you listen for patterns, tensions, and omissions within the narrative, clues
Yes.
that reveal where insight is waiting. So reveal that authenticity, people. And Miss Jackie, people often present surface level problem. How do you gently activate to discover the deeper, more meaningful question they are actually struggling with?
Oh, I think one thing that really helps is to provide like a some type of option to them, right? Like or
Yes.
just have some different categories that maybe, depending upon what kind of client you're working with, have some different types. Some that I came up with is like some that are clarity based. So if you have a client that's not sure where they want to go, then you provide that clarity. Or if it's values based, you ask them what matters most, and do that. So just try to figure out what kind of questions and what categories. Maybe that'll help too, because then that can help you uncover the deeper part of that, and uncover the surface level, and get to that meaning that you're looking for as well.
Mm, the deeper meaning. Yes, definitely. Gently excavating beneath a surface level problem begins with curiosity rather than correction, and pacing rather than the pressure itself. So, Miss Jackie, what is a powerful question you regularly ask yourself to check your own alignment, challenge your assumptions, or reignite your motivation?
Oh, I like that. I think one thing I try to ask myself quite often is, because sometimes it's easy to be afraid. And so
Mm-hmm,
if I'm
yes.
afraid to do something, then I try to ask myself that courage question: what would you do if you weren't afraid? And so that helps me. Yeah. And so that, I think that's one. Or if I'm afraid to commit, then what am I willing to do this week? And so I like to ask myself those types of questions typically. And then that helps me get to the heart of maybe what's preventing me, or what's the barrier that's preventing me from doing that thing that I want to do. So that those two questions really help.
Truly help people. For me, Miss Jackie, a powerful question I regularly return to is, what am I choosing out a habit rather than intention right now?
Mm,
I always ask that one. It works
that's
because it quietly exposes misalignment without judgment, revealing where momentum, fear, or comfort may be deriving decision instead of the values or purpose. The question challenges assumption by, well, interrupting autopilot thinking. The reignites motivation by restoring agency, reminding me that alignment is not found, it is chosen moment by moment. So, Miss Jackie, to wrap up our discussion for today, reflecting on all your work, what has been the most surprising or profound personal breakthrough you've experienced as a result out of being asked or asking yourself a powerful question?
Oh, wow. That's great. I think one thing is, powerful questions, they don't, for me at least, it doesn't control people, but it frees them. So I think that's the key to good, powerful questions. They don't control people, but they free them.
Yes, should not be freeze when you're asking. It should be give you this enlightenment, right?
Right.
Reflecting those questions, the most profound pattern that emerges from powerful question is this: clarity does not come from a better answers, but from a better ownership of that question. Again and again, the breakthrough moment occurs when a question shifts responsibility inward, not in a blaming way, but in liberating one, moving someone from what's happening to me to what I'm participating in, choosing or protecting here. That's what a big question, people. Big questions. So, Miss Jackie, would you like to plug in something?
Sure. Thank you. I also have my own podcast called Designing with Love. So feel free to look it up wherever you listen to your podcasts. It's good for educators and those wanting to go into instructional design and learn more about it.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Jackie. Yeah, because if you support her for sure, more and more empowering episodes of the podcast itself, and of course, our four podcasts, and to be soon fifth podcast. Of course, AI 101, Tech 101, Bible Verses 101, Coaching 101, and Mysteries. Oh, Mystery Stories
Stories
101.
101. I love it.
Oh, tune in, people, because we are getting bigger, better, and bolder. That is our aim, vision, mission, what we are doing here. And one thing, we want to empower you. We want you to give you knowledge that expand to your daily lives. So, Miss Jackie, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Thank you for joining and keep learning.
Maricam people, see you soon.